Okay, you have the Cleveland Browns record prediction. So they traded away Mayfield and they have Deshaun Watson suspended for at least half a season or so. And so I know people don't like the Browns right now, but the Browns in general do have a very talented team. They still have a great running back duo in Chubb and Hunt. Good-ish wide receivers, okay wide receiver with Cooper. And the defense, they still have Gary, they still have Ward. The Browns have a really good team, even with Brissett starting probably at least half a season. And still, so you have your first game against Carolina. Mayfield starts. I think it's going to be a revenge game for the Cardinals. Cardinals, I think, have a underrated roster. Not great, though. And I'm kind of worried about the Panthers line. I think this one's going to be less about the quarterbacks and more about the defenses. And I think Carolina's a really young defense. And Myles Garrett, I don't think will be enough to carry this, so I'm going to take the Panthers. Then you have week 2 versus the Jets. Jets are a good. They're getting better, the Jets. They drafted really well. They got Garner, they got Johnson, and I just think the Browns are way more talented than Jets right now, and I'm gonna take the Browns. Similar to Pittsburgh, they're starting a rookie quarterback, Pickett, and overall the Steelers' defense I think can cause problems, but it's a Thursday nighter, and Cleveland Browns have the advantage, the home field advantage, and Steelers' offensive line I think is going to be a weak point for them, and Myles Garrett and company will cause problems. I'm going to take the Browns. Then you have Denver versus the Falcons. Falcons are totally rebuilding. Their defense isn't great. I believe Chubb and Hunt will run all over their defense. Falcons offensively just don't have enough talent anywhere, so I'm going to take the Browns. Then you have Denver versus the Chargers. Chargers, very talented team. That Chargers defense with Mac, Bosa, and Jackson, Derwin James, I think will definitely cause problems for the Browns offense, especially with no Watson and no Mayfield. I don't think Brissett will be enough to carry this game. And offensively, Chargers have a lot of talent, having Keenan Allen, obviously Justin Herbert, Eckler, and Browns. I just without star quarterback, I don't think the Browns can win this. So I'm gonna take the Chargers. Then you have them versus the Patriots. Patriots, another good team with a good defense with Bill Belichick on it, but I think the Patriots lack offensive firepower. And with Cleveland has home field advantage, and I think with Chubb and Hunt, the Browns will be able to get a win. So I'll take the Browns. And you have them versus the Ravens. Ravens getting a bunch of players back from injuries. I think the Ravens still have Lamar Jackson, a great running back, which I think will cause problems for the Browns defense. Ravens have home field advantage. And this first game, I'm going to take the Ravens. Then you have them versus the Bengals. Bengals are never another very good team. They have Chase, Boyd, Higgins. They have Joe Burrow, which I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. And Cleveland again have the home field advantage, but I think the run game is going to take over for the Browns. The Bengals, I'm worried about their linebacker core, and I think the Browns running back can take over, so I'm going to take the Browns. Then you have them versus Dolphins. Dolphins, they're definitely a blitz-heavy team. I don't know if Deshaun Watson is coming back, but after the bye, I think Watson's coming back. And Cleveland Browns are coming off a bye, so Dolphins don't really have that much of a home field advantage. And I think the Cleveland Browns defense is going to be too much for the Dolphins offense, which I think we'll be figuring out what's happening. So I'm gonna take the Browns. Then you have them versus the Bills. Presumably, if Watson comes back, I think this one, his second game back, is going to be his breakout game. And against the Bills, like I said, have so much talent. But if Watson comes back this game, there's no denying he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm gonna take the Browns. Then you have them versus the Bucks. Bucks are coming off a bye, and the Browns are coming off a huge win. They might slack this game. Bucks definitely tough. They have a good defense, and they still have Tom Brady on offense. And I think Bucks can slow down the Browns' running game, and I don't think the Browns' defense is enough to slow down Tom Brady. So I'm gonna take the Bucks. Yeah, them versus the Houston Texans. I think the Boston screwed over the Texans though, and Texans they do have Davis Mills. I'm just gonna predict the upset. I have the Texans taking their revenge, so I'm gonna take the Texans. Then you have them versus the Bengals. Bengals, like I said, have so much talent. And I don't think the Browns are good enough, even with Watson, to sweep the Bengals, so I'm going to take the Bengals. Similar to last week, you have the Ravens. Ravens, I think, are too talented. The Browns are too talented to get swept by the Ravens. And Browns usually do well with the great running game, so I'm going to take the Browns. Then you have them versus the Saints. Saints have a good defense. I think this is definitely going to be a defensive game. And Saints offense isn't that good. I think Myles Garrett will cause trouble for them. This Browns secondary is definitely not bad. And Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I'm not sure if it's enough to carry the game. And I don't know. I just trust Deshaun Watson over Winston. And being a Saturday night, I'm gonna take the Browns. Then you have them versus the football team. I think this one's gonna be definitely a trap game for the Browns. But I don't think Washington offensively has enough firepower to take down the Browns. They kind of lack weapons on having Lee Terry and Antonio Gibson, who's okay. So in the end, I'm going to take the Browns. Then you have the final game versus the Steelers. Pittsburgh won the first game, and like I said, Steelers usually do well against the Browns. And this final week, Pickett may do better. The defense, everything will be better, more cohesive. And Pittsburgh have home field advantage. I'm going to take the Steelers. So in the end, after the Browns won 10-7, 3-2 in the division, 6-2 at home, and 4-5.